migrations.
Mm.
And without an SEO team, you can do it wrong. So for me, it's about understanding how we can manage and support the marketing teams to ensure that they get the performance they need.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree with that. I think for me, I think it's the opportunity of driving the growth,
Yeah, of course.
because only we
Yeah.
know how to drive it.
Yeah.
And without us, the expertise aren't there.
No.
You need us.
And we're the ones who only look at performance. We don't look at, yes, we look at functionality, design, and everything.
Yeah.
But we're the ones who are brought into the project to look at it from an impact and performance perspective. Whereas web developers, they want to create something that looks great, functional. Marketers just want to get it done
Yeah.
really quickly
Yeah.
because they're time poor and they've got other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And they don't really have the experience. They might do, say, one migration every 5 years if they move around companies and everything. So they don't understand migrations. They just know that there's a potential that it can go more wrong than it can go right when you're redesigning and changing the site.
It's interesting, actually, because if I think about it, if there's one stakeholder or team that's responsible for ensuring success through the launch
Yeah.
of a new site, it's
Yeah.
actually us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's no other
No.
team actually has that level of
No.
data analysis and capability and expertise.
Yeah, because we do.
No one else looks at the numbers.
We'll do a migration, every month. Sometimes two in a month,
Mm.
and we've got all that experience, and we've treaded the path. We know what can go wrong and what can go right. Whereas everybody else in that web developers, they might do a redesign migration or something every 3 months, but they're not looking at it the same eyes as we're looking at it. That's why SEO agencies and performance agencies, they get involved, because we are the ones who've got the most experience. We do it, okay, day in, day out, but we still do it, and we've got that. We've been through all the trials and tribulations. We know things can go right and things can go wrong. Whereas in-house marketers, they've just got scar tissue because they've seen it, they've read stories, they've been through it before, they know people who've gone through it, and all they're looking for is mitigation of loss.
Mm.
Really, they're looking for how can I not mess up this?
Yeah, how can I minimise risk?
Exactly.
Which is what it's always about.
Exactly, and that's why we come in, because we are the ones who can look at the light at the end of the tunnel. We're the ones who can guide on that journey through the migration, but we're also the ones that won't just focus on mitigation of loss. We'll focus on growth, because why would you do a website project if you didn't want to grow your business? You won't just do it just to move and just change the lipstick, the cosmetics of it. You want to do something that's better, because we know, a website might cost, 50, 60, 100, 120 grand. That's a lot of money invested just to maintain or not lose.
And that's the other side of the equation, actually. I think one thing that is useful for marketers to bear in mind is actually at the planning phase, when you're budget planning,
Yeah.
you should also be planning for the migration, budget line, actually, because
Yes. Yeah.
when you go into a web project, you're looking at the design development cost.
Yeah.
So you're looking at that cost with those agencies. You look at what other platform costs you might have, or any capability, in terms of platforms and things. But actually, what gets left behind, and what's usually an afterthought, is the cost of having a stakeholder protecting the performance.
Yeah, and it's often we're brought in as an afterthought. We're brought in.
Yeah.
We're brought in when all the decisions have been made, all the stakeholders have been involved, all the project has been kind of scoped and delivered into the senior teams, stakeholders, and it's kind of, okay, well, we want to do this. And then it's always a case of, what could go wrong here? Let's bring in an SEO agency to mitigate the loss. That's when we come in, is to mitigate the loss, to kind of share the risk.
But we should be coming in at the beginning of the project.
Exactly.
We should be coming in at the planning phase.
Exactly.
The best time to get someone like Polaris into the mix is before you actually launch your web project.
Yeah.
It's before even the design phase.
It's before you even start talking about it, really, because we're the ones who
We brief it in.
Yes, because we're the ones who can be part of that migration project team to ensure that we're looking at everything. We're looking at architecture. We're looking at
Content.
understanding what stakeholders don't like about sites.
Mm.
So, what do you like about your site? Okay, so we understand that. Looking at the customer journey.
Yep.
How do your current prospective visitors navigate through your site? Can we create a better path from inquiry into conversion through the website journey? And that is something that when you get someone in like Polaris to be involved, we very much get in at that stage so we can start having those discussions rather than having to retrofit it.
We I remember when we had a client that pulled us in 2 weeks before.
Yep.
And
they
still
go
a
through another
client.
migration. They go through another migration now. Well, 4 years, 5 years later,
Yeah.
they're going through another migration.
Yeah. But at least we're at the beginning this time.
Yes, yes. Well, we are right at the beginning this time. We're
Yeah.
at the beginning where they saw the value in us last time.
Yeah.
Okay, it was 2 weeks and it was extremely fraught, but bringing us in on 2 weeks is just a compliance thing, really, because
It's panic.
yes, yeah,
Bringing someone in 2
Yeah,
weeks before is, I don't know where this is going to go. I've got
could-
no faith
yeah,
in my developers.
yeah,
I've asked my developers, are you going to handle
Yeah.
this? Are we going to be okay? And
Yeah.
they've given me some wishy-washy answers. And actually, that scares me. I'm picking up the phone.
and especially if you haven't got a defined web dev team, you've just got like some, a one-man band or like a two-man band, with a web developer looking at your project.
And also, if your marketing function is actually just you and yourself, right?
Yeah,
or me,
yeah,
myself, and Irene
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Well,
It's one-man band.
you've got a very small marketing team. You've got a very small developer set up. So you need to bring in somebody who's going to give you that galvanization of support.
Yeah.
Because bringing us in on a 2-week time frame, we can't change any of the navigation. We can't change any of the landing pages.
No, 2 weeks to launch. We're looking at the fundamentals, right?
We're just looking at the redirect mapping
Yeah,
and making sure
because
that
that's all you've
the
got time for.
tracking set up,
Yeah.
making sure that there's no critical errors in
And-
technical.
And you can't go back because then you're going to have to push the launch time frame. And by that point,
Exactly.
the whole business is already committed.
Exactly.
PR's been lined up.
Exactly.
Stakeholders been told we're
Yeah,
launching.
yeah.
You can't push it by 3
You can't
months.
push it.
It's not
You can't.
possible.
But you also can't roll it back.
No.
So, in this scenario, it wasn't a rebrand or anything. It was obviously a replatform, but there was a change of architecture, a change of landing pages. But at the same time, you can't roll it back then. You've put probably 7 to 8 months investment into this project.
Yeah.
It has to launch.
Yeah.
And then people like us, we come in and we're doing a lot of post fixes. We're so there's a lot of fixing you do then. You end up redesigning the architecture, redesigning the templates.
Yeah, the same work is done, but
In
it happens
post.
after launch.
Exactly.
Yeah, which isn't great for the business or
No.
for the marketing budget because actually your investment hasn't worked as long as it could have.
No.
If it was in the launch, in the
Yes.
build up to the project at the
Yes.
right time, then you get a better investment out of the same in spend.
Of course.
But obviously post, that means that you're still going to get the results, but it's just
course.
pushed on in terms of time frame.
And again, in that scenario, there wasn't too much of an issue with performance loss or anything from that pre into post, as I remember correctly. But there was still what I would consider an element of recovery that was going on. There was still, okay, well, why have we got that URL taxonomy and structure set up? Why don't we have these core pages? Why don't we have this? And there was a lot of that unpicking to go on. We're probably 6 months after the project. Easy 3 to 6 months. Which then what happened was, and I think as you remember, there was a lot of URL structure changes. And then we ended up in redirect change and reconsideration. And there was a lot of flux going on at that time because Google's looking at it and going, okay, it was this, now it's that, and then it's something else again. And that's one of the worst things you can do from a migration perspective is make too many changes too quickly or try to change something fundamentally from what it was before.
Yeah.
because what happens then is you end up in a situation where Google's just recrawling, reconsideration, and again, it might crawl 14 days previous, and the site looked different to what it looked 14 days now. So it's a lot of learning that has to go through, and even if you've got historical ranking and everything, you're still going to have an issue with performance.
If you turned up tomorrow looking different to this, I'd question the same, mate.
Well, I could have.
Yeah.
Could have had a shave.
Yeah. You could have a toupee.
It could just be, yeah, exactly. Or,
It could be anything.
could be wearing
But it's the same thing, right?
eyeliner or something.
Yeah,
exactly.
But you look so different. That's what
Yeah.
it is, right? You look I have an understanding of what you look like, what you're about, and I know
Exactly.
you. Tomorrow you turn up, you look different, you sound different, and you've got a totally different name.
Yeah,
I don't know who you are.
I could be wearing a t-shirt to work.
I don't understand. Yeah, you could be wearing a t-shirt. You could be
a
wearing a
crumpled
t-shirt. You could. Unironed.
Exactly. I could.
Yeah, you could on a Monday.
Good.
On a Monday.
I could.
And I'll be confused.
Yeah, I'd be confused too.
I'll be so confused. I'll be like, who is
I
this?
look in the mirror. I'd be like, who is that guy?
I don't know you. I don't know you.
But no, you're right. And there is an element of, we think that Google reviews your website and they think they look at it at the front end, all the cosmetics, all the great photos and imagery and everything. Yes, it's aware of that. It is aware of that. But as we know, Google, AI search bots and search bots in general, they will tend to just look at a bag of words, a bag of data.
Yeah.
And if that bag of words and data looks fundamentally different to what a bag of word and data looked previously, then it's not going to know who you are, because Google and any kind of large language model, any kind of bot, they look for patterns of words. They don't look for the meaning of words or anything. So that's actually quite interesting, because it's something that when you work in search for a long time, you think that, it's all about, putting the words in the right place and everything, and, getting those keywords in and, getting the topic right. But it's very much just given that tokenization of words that match another word set that Google are aware of. This is about this subject, this is about that subject.
Yeah.
And that is something that, web developers and web designers are really clever at creating something that looks amazing. They'd spend a lot of time in making sure that sites look great.
Because that's their skill.
Yeah.
That's what we can't do.
Exactly. That's not. I'm not going to start looking at imagery and looking at,
we can't make something look beautiful.
Exactly.
Or the functionality. That's not our skill, but that is their skill, and they're great at it.
Yes, and they are, and that's great if you're ranking. If you've got a really good brand, if you've got a really strong brand. So let's say you're Nike or you're Adidas or even like Gymshark and those kind of brands. They've got a very strong brand identity, a very strong brand. They don't have to play the game of SEO and search as much as some other brands. So then it's all about ensuring that journey. So a lot of companies out there will look at idols or sites that they like and go, "Oh, my site to be like that. Oh, my site be like Apple." That's not going to happen in your scenario, because Apple's website is probably really difficult to crawl, really difficult to understand what's going on, but it doesn't need to rank. Apple doesn't need to rank, but your site needs to rank. So you need to ensure you have that cosmetic and everything, that functionality, but still the core fundamentals of search behavior, clustering, semantic, natural language processing. It's so much that goes into the development of a web page, a website. People just are not aware of. And that's why developers will have this really great looking, menu. They won't have any drop downs. They won't have anything in there at all, because that's the clean version they like. That clean version you like is not going to get your site ranking.
No, that's where the two marry together, actually, in terms of what we do and how we collaborate, and we share intelligence to drive performance through search, and also work within the realms of the design and the creativity that comes from the other guys. That's what we do.
But it's also, like I was saying it before on a commentary the other day, there's always, you have to collaborate. even if you've got strong ideas, web developers got strong ideas, internal marketers, stakeholders got strong ideas, there still has to be the battles that you want to fight and what you want to win compared to the other things. So, like, for example, I might be looking at recently I was looking at a global management consultancy site doing a migration, and we had a lot of stakeholders. There was about probably, I would say, 50 people involved in the end. There was internal stakeholders, there was developer, designers, and obviously there's the Polaris team and my team. And it was quite interesting that some of the design and developers, they were really, really strong on UX principles. This has to be from a UX perspective. And if it didn't really have that much value to me, I'm like, yeah, go for it, do it. If it was something that I thought that had an impact from a search perspective, there'd be a pushback and there'd be collaboration and consideration. You have to have that. You have to have that, give and take in a relationship.
Healthy tension.
Yes.
Something we talk about.
Exactly. Healthy tension.
Push and pull, yeah.
Exactly. And that push and pull relationship ensures that you get the best response and results for the client, because we're usually brought in by the client to kind of manage those relationships a little bit as well, because we will be the ones that will say something.
Well, it's hard, isn't it? Look, marketing manager or marketing director, they've got to build and gel with everyone in the project, right? And sometimes it's not easy, being able to challenge or to question, a particular partner. Whereas actually, if you've got the right mix of stakeholders and you've got the right mix of experts, it gets taken care of itself.
Exactly.
And that's that healthy tension.
Yes.
And that's where the relationships come into play, right?
It's about relationship at that point, because, there's a fair process that's involved. Everybody's involved. There's no egos in the room.
No.
And there could be a lot of egos in that room, because they're all experts.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of experts there, but you have to walk into it with no ego.
No. Well, it's the common objective. Everyone's got a common goal, and that is to launch the site by retaining, what performance can be retained.
Yes.
That's rightful to be retained.
Yes.
Bearing in mind the objectives of the new site and marketing going forward.
Yeah.
And then also the holy grail for us is looking at performance uplift.
But I mean, even in this scenario, I mean, they were getting about 60-70% of all their traffic to their blog, their journal, their insights area. But they didn't want that. They wanted traffic going to the main solution, the main transactional pages.
Yeah, because the traffic that they were getting isn't going to convert or amount to anything.
It's just traffic.
There's no impact from it.
A vanity traffic figure.
Yeah.
So when we were doing the analysis on the web analytics, we do obviously like a web analytics report to understand exactly where the performance is. A lot of that needed to shift. So when we were discussing with them, I say, you're getting a lot of traffic here. There needs to be a massive shift here. So looking at your architecture, looking at your site, we just start pulling things out a little bit. There's too much of it's too deep, this architecture is. So we need to start pulling things out, making them earlier on in that journey.
Yeah.
And by doing that, even just by doing that, we massively shifted it. I can't remember what the numbers were now, but I think there was definitely for a start, a lot of those journal and insight pieces were driving no traffic. So by doing a content audit, we could see that they weren't driving any traffic, didn't have any equity, didn't have any conversions, and weren't really part of that. They were kind of outdated. By doing that analysis, that content audit piece, we decided we're going to cull about 80% of them because they're just not performing. All it does is just add to your crawl bloat, your index bloat, and it makes it harder for Google to crawl your main core solution transactional pages. Yeah. And that's something that, you can't put, when you are doing a migration, start cleaning your house. Start cleaning the house, use that spring cleaning to go, this isn't performing. So you got to be a bit careful. You need SEO involved with it because you don't want to start ripping out things that are giving your site that kind of heart of your topic.
What's the acronym? KKR, is it?
KKR?
Yeah, kill. Cull, redirect or something.
Yeah, something like
Kill,
that.
keep, redirect.
Yes, yes.
Kill, keep, redirect.
Exactly. Yeah. And, it's a case of, do you consolidate it? Is it a topic you can consolidate? Is it something you just want to get rid of? Is it something that you think there's value to update and get more traffic to that page? Because it's a good topic, it just hasn't been optimized enough.
And that's one of the things that we do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just thinking about it, there's so much actually. Like, if you look at all that we condense, and we can run a migration project from it. What, 8 weeks? That's quite a lot that we do actually. Talking through the various phases, it makes sense why we've got 5 steps or 5 stages.
Yes.
But the thing I think where we really add value is it's for a marketing manager. If a marketing manager was going to ask, look, why would we bring Polaris in to handle our migration? I think the answer is really simple. We have the answers. That's the answer.
Tread the path.
We get asked questions you're going to ask us. We know the answers because we've treaded the path. We've been there. That's the key thing. I think that's the value that we bring.
Yes.
It's not just it's not the content, just the content gap.
No.
It's not the architecture analysis. It's not a review of your ICP against where you want to go and what products and solutions you're bringing out in the next 18 months that you want to position for. It's not the fact that you need to be stronger against your competition and we can help you do that after launch.
Yes.
It is that we've got the answers to get you to launch, and then we've got the answers to launch you successfully, and we've got the strategy roadmaps that we can build for your business after launching to get you to your objectives. We have the answers right from the beginning. That's why our partners choose us.
Yeah, and I think it's, we're not ChatGPT. It's like, you take all the knowledge of the team and put it into a model, and you ask that model would be very, very well informed because, you've got 10,000 hours there of expert knowledge. So if someone says something about a rebrand, like, I've done this before. I know exactly how they go. You know what I mean?
Have a break. How long have we been talking for?
Quite a long time.
There's one of you. That's an episode. That can be cut up, right? Yeah, I've deliberately tried to steer us so you can cut it.
Yeah.
So you've got, and I'll be able to help do that if we've got to watch it over.
Just good.
Yeah.
What do you mean frame them? You mean?
Yeah. Now we should do some timed ones.
Frame them. Yeah.
Short snippets, because that's just like an episode that you could just put live and cut. Now we do some framed ones.
You're going to ask them then?
Yeah. Yeah, keep it concise. Is there a counter? Is there a countdown anywhere? Can we get a countdown? Like, how long are these clips meant to be, Hafiz, for social media? Like, short ones? 30 seconds? 60. Yeah, but do you even watch a feed? Do you watch a 60-second clip on LinkedIn? No. I don't think you do. Can we do 30-second timer?
What I'll do is I'll make the timer big and then you can.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. That's it. Perfect. Yeah, that's better.
Oh, you can see the timer.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, so we start what? On
60.
0, and then we've got 30 seconds, yeah?
Yeah. So your first one's going to be pitfalls of launching a new site without a migration.
Okay, but hold on. Who's going to answer it? You get 30 seconds from him, 30 seconds from me. And then you can cut both of them, can't you?
Yeah, and then you can do one in.
All right, we're going to have to hold on. And then hold on, let's do this properly. You're going to have to do some kind of a signal to let us know that we've got to stop.
Hook on my eye.
So start. We can go again.
So start on 30.
So start on 30. And what's the question? Pitfalls of not having us.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, what are you going to say? Yeah, what are you going to say? Let's just think.
Someone just said now, really, to be honest. We just said,
let's say if you.
So pitfalls.
Just pick one. What the biggest
probably like
pitfall
1 or
is.
3 also.
No, just pick one. Just talk around one. What's your one pitfall? What's the one biggest pitfall of someone not choosing us?
Biggest pitfall is, well, it's loss of performance.
All right. So for you, it's loss of performance. Yeah, nice. For me, I think it's lack of I think you're going to have lack of confidence without us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a bit. Don't know. Biggest pitfall. I think it's the same thing, right? Just you haven't got all the answers. Don't know. It's not. It is loss of performance. You're right.
That's all. I mean, but it's also
Peace of mind.
double handling it.
It's peace of mind.
Yeah,
that's the biggest pitfall. Peace of mind.
Double handling as well.
I'll go with peace of mind. You go with loss of performance. All right.
When it gets to
when it goes zero, right? You going first?
Yeah. No.
Start
somebody should. Frame it in.
The biggest pitfall of not having us.
Yeah.
Not me. Me and my guns on the migration. And 4, 3, 2.
I believe that the biggest pitfall of not involving an agency like Polaris in your migration is simply you don't have anybody looking at your performance. So without having someone looking at and owning your performance, there's a potential that you could experience a loss. And that loss could be 35%, 45%, depending on exactly what your goals and targets are.
I think the biggest pitfall of not having someone like Polaris looking after your migration is
line.
What was it? What did I say?
Peace of mind. Sorry. Go again.
Yeah.
And you can add about your questions then if need be.
I think the biggest reason for someone to take us on as their migration partner is not just what you've mentioned about the performance that we manage and that we own effectively as a stakeholder. It's peace of mind. I think with us as your stakeholder for migrations, what we guarantee you is peace of mind through the whole project. I want to do it quite a lot. Right. Shall I do it again? What? Sound?
Oh, sorry, mate. A couple of my legs.
Okay, cool. Oh, right. We just did like half. Oh, right. Oh.
But yeah, just try. I know it's hard, but try not to be doing this thing.
Right, 2, 1. Just give yourself 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I think again, no?
You just knocked my confidence. I've slouched.
I had to give you feedback. If I don't, I'll get a cold.
You got some McDonald's burger in your face.
Can't see any of me. That and then my feet like just like this.
Percussion.
Great.
Right,
Great
2,
podcast.
1.
Yeah. I think the biggest reason to engage us as your marketing and migration partner is the fact that we give you peace of mind. Yeah. We not only retain the performance by measuring it and owning it, but we have all the answers. So with us, there won't be a point where you do not know what's next.
Agree.
Were you? Hands are staying down now. We did half an hour with me doing this the whole way through.
That's fine. That's fine. That's just flowing. So.
Yeah. What's next?
When you talk, it's gonna be natural. So.
That's a lot of words. What was it?
3 something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is one of my interview questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go first.
Top 3, I'm going to give 1. I think. Yeah, no, we'll do 30 seconds. There's 2 key aspects of a migration that I think are really key where we excel to secure retention performance-wise. One is the site structure review, because not only do we ensure that critical pages are retained, we look at gaps as well, which drive performance.
Yes.
And we can get up to 40% on that.
Yeah.
But the second is the content analysis and the wireframing. We look at the nature of the pages to ensure that we can retain anything of value.
Yeah, I agree. Got to think about mine now.
Yeah, because I just took the 2 best
Yeah,
answers.
I know, Was it top 3 critical?
Well, most
It's fine.
critical.
Yeah.
Or you can validate it.
I'll just say something. Don't worry about
You
me.
could just say Ammo's
say
right.
something.
You could just say Ammo got it right.
Emma's part of the migration team.
He got it right. Only took him
Can I get a
45 minutes.
Can I get a soundbite?
Yeah. Now you can see his face. Yeah. What do you prefer, guys?
Well, I think. Oh, sorry, 30 again. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I have 30 again.
Oh.
I was in the mood then. I was going for it.
He was going to hit it hard then. You could take a whole minute. Go on. We know you want to.
It's fine. Just give me tight at 30. It's fine.
All right. All right. It's getting tense.
I think the most critical to coincide what you said about the architecture and the wireframes, I think the most critical thing is ensuring that you've got the correct redirects into your site. Because if you're not redirecting properly, then you can create crawl, indexing issues, and performance issues. And from a reader perspective, we want to make sure that there's a like for like, not just a blanket redirecting. So understanding the intent of the redirect rather than just redirecting URLs to URLs. So I think that's one of the most critical things that you need to get right as well in migration.
Beautiful. I really felt that.
I was just talking.
It was like we were at the Titanic at the front, you know, like this near far. That felt like a near far moment between us.
Right, what's next?
I'm Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't expect anything else.
You could be Kate Winslet.
I'll be wherever. I don't watch. So.
She was bigger than him.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was.
Weren't she hugging him from behind?
She was bigger than him. Yeah.
You can hug me from behind.
Lift you up, mate. Lift you up.
Is he holding her? Is he?
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, imagine that.
Equality. Pick me up. There wasn't any equality. All right.
The number one SEO opportunity that unlocks 40% growth in performance.
I think that's site structure. To unlock growth through a migration or through launching a new site.
Or gaps.
Yeah, site structure, no?
Yeah. Content. Well, no.
Or content gap analysis.
Yeah, gaps. So
are we saying the same thing? Or we just
comparator analysis into the gaps, or
well, it is a content gap analysis.
Yeah.
Which includes site structure.
Because that's
competitive landscape. Yeah. It's all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did it together. No, we just did it, didn't we? What was wrong with that?
Or did I just do spots?
No, we just that. Yeah.
Unless you want us to do it again.
No, that was the truth.
Yeah.
As in, we can do something like that. Like.
Yeah.
I think you got that. I think that was fine.
Yeah, it does be spots.
It was organic. It was real.
Yeah. We are real. That's straightforward. It's really straightforward.
Well, actually, so who looks at? You can choose where you cut this from, obviously. Who looks at and designs? They call it a user journey. They call it a journey flow.
They call it a sitemap.
A sitemap. That's it. That's it. Designers and creatives call it a sitemap.
They call it a sitemap.
And they design a sitemap, but based on what? What do they actually base it on?
Based on what's there already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So based on what's there already, they will then design that. Sometimes they'll do some web analytics kind of research. Sometimes they'll speak to stakeholders and do some Ask the Experts and stuff.
Yeah.
Or some UX work, but majority of time they'll just understand what's there and how can we replicate that
to go forward.
Yeah, unless there's really strong identities on the in-house team saying, we don't want to have this in the navigation, we don't want to have this on the site.
Whereas when we look at a sitemap, we call it a site structure for a start. So we use different wording. We do use different terminology.
Yes.
We were calling them IAs, but we had to stop calling them that because people get them confused
we
with
call them information
AI.
architectures.
Yeah, people didn't understand it.
Which is the technically right way to call it.
Yeah, an information architecture.
Yeah.
But we call it a site structure, and we look at it from an intent serving point of view, right?
Yes.
We look at customer intent first,
Yes.
or we look at user intent.
Yes.
So we analyze user intent.
Yeah.
We then analyze ICPs and a business's target audience.
Yeah.
And then we analyze the site structure to identify what's needed to serve that intent.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Doing competitor analysis, understanding any gaps, speaking to the stakeholders, doing some, like you said, search intent analysis based on what shows up in either the SERP results. Those are key things that we do. And also, we do it from a perspective as well of understanding what is the customer journey. So, and this is a bit outside of sitemaps, the information architecture. This is just more looking at your kind of header menu, for example, or your in-page navigation. We look at it and we go, that page should be there because that takes that user directly to that area. Whereas designers and web developers, they want to have something very tight that takes you into the page and takes you into the journey. Whereas we, and majority of times the audience, they want that, don't make me think. I want to go straight to that area really quickly because that's the need that I have while visiting this site. I don't want to go into the pages and read everything and do everything. I just want to get there quickly. And that's something that I think that we do more efficiently than web designers and developers.
Try and keep it tight.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a bit waffly. I think you can cut it when I stopped. And then you could, if that is useful, you can put that into another.
Yeah.
What, we've done an hour? Yeah. All right, we'll stop at 1 hour. You drink your coffee?
I'm drinking it as in between the gaps.
I don't know if I can have it in here though. I can have it out there.